we have all this text inside the document. And I mentioned earlier that one of the things you have to be aware of is the fact that when you're working in a document, everything that you're doing is stored in RAM, which is volatile memory, until you actually save the document. So everything that we've done is just in RAM, and if for some reason we lost power for a moment inside of the lab, everything would be lost. So I want to go ahead and save this document to your file locker. Now we can use either your file locker or your USB flash drive. If you haven't already connected to your file locker, I'm going to click on the Finder icon. When I click on the Finder icon, we can go up to Go at the very top, and we can drag down to, well, I'm going to drag down to where it says Network. There should be a list of all the files that the file lockers over here. Now, if you don't see your file locker, that's not a problem because it only shows the last 4 or 5 places that you've been. There is an item that says Show All or something similar to that. You can click on that link and it'll show you all the file lockers that are up and running at this particular point in time. I'm using Elvis, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Elvis, and it's going to try to connect. And it looks a little different here at the house because I am at my house right now, and I'm actually using my wife's computer to pretend to be Elvis. So mine was just a little bit different, but you should be getting relatively familiar with how to connect to the file locker. And I'm going to be using the folder area for Ernie Pyle because I use that in the advanced technology class a lot. So having made connection to the file locker, I'll go ahead and click back inside my document so that Word is now the program that is running in the foreground. So I can click on File, drag down to Save As, and instead of going to Document or something like that, I'm going to go to Elvis, and I'm going to get it so that I'm in my folder. You want to make sure that you're in your folder. Don't look for Ernie Pyle. Make sure you're using your folder. And up here at the very top is trying to basically say I'm going to call this first word processing assignment. We can put like your last name, and I would call this word 01. Now it's not putting anything behind the name of the file because the box on my computer is checked where it says hide extension. I'm going to uncheck that box because I like to see the extension. Right now it's going to save this on the docx format, which is the new format that Microsoft came up with their Word. It's in the 2010. It was in the 2008 version for the Mac computer. Now, if you have an earlier version of Microsoft at home, and you want to take this home and use it on your Windows computer or on your Mac computer, we could say, well, instead of using the newer format, we want to save in, and there's different formats that we have down here. We can use the Word 97 to 2004 doc format. Template would be a really bad idea for right now, and the earlier template. There's something called rich text format, which is something that the government required about a dozen years ago so that government offices using different word processing programs could share information back and forth. And it's not what I would call a great format to save in, but it does retain a lot of formatting type elements and stuff like that. You could actually save this into a web page or a PDF. Now, if it's PDF, you can't edit off of a PDF document. Well, you can't edit easily off of a PDF document. So we lose a lot of things there that would be very helpful. And Microsoft Word writes really poor HTML or web pages, but we can write poor web pages if you want to. So for this particular class, the docx X, the Word document is probably the format that you'd want to use. I'll click on Save, and it's writing it out. And notice now that it has the name of the file that we gave it sitting on top of this line up here, identifying that we're now working in this particular document. And everything that we've done up to this particular moment now has been saved in this document.